Welcome back to Cooking through Exquisite Exandria. Today we are making the Heartmoor Harvest Salad. Let's get started. First things first, we're going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. While that is warming up, we're going to start marinating our tomatoes. We're going to use 3 cups of cherry tomatoes, multicolored cherry tomatoes. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to season that with salt and pepper, and we're going to let that marinate at room temp while the oven comes up to temp. Alright, in a large bowl, we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil along with our blue potatoes. I also had to add some miniature red skin potatoes. I could not find enough just blue potatoes. And then we're going to season that with salt and pepper. Once that has been thoroughly mixed together, we are going to transfer this to a foil-lined baking sheet and bake in the oven at 425 for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now we're going to start on the greens for the salad. This is actually pretty simple, so we're just going to tear the greens away from the radishes and we're just going to give those a rough chop. Now we're going to thinly slice about half of the radishes, and then we're going to cut the other half of the radishes into little wedges. And I could not figure out how to do wedges, so I just kind of did chunks with radishes. And sorry about this, but one of my cats has massive beef with my sister, so that's what we're talking about in the background. Yes, I am freaking out over this itty bitty little radish. It's so cute. You look at it. Ah! It's so cute. Alright, we are going to work on the dressing. So we're going to set aside the majority of our tomatoes, but in an immersion blender container. We're going to set aside about a cup of the tomatoes, the remainder of our white wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons of honey, and we're going to blend that together until it's smooth. And while we're blending, we're going to add about 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Don't mind the honey drizzle down the side, and we're just going to set that aside. And we're just going to do a check on our potatoes. They should be easily pierced. I had to put a little bit of effort in, so I just popped these back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Alright, moving on. We are going to prep the parsley and dill. So we need 1/2 cup of packed flat leaf parsley. I ended up using the entire bunch that I got from the grocery store. Just tear that with your fingers and then chop the remainder. And once it fits into a 1/2 cup measuring cup packed, you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and set that aside, and then we're going to work on our dill. We needed a cup of dill plucked from the stem. In hindsight, I should have purchased more dill, but now we're going to assemble the salad. This whole thing came together in like 45 minutes, so we're going to start with the potatoes, the radish tops, the radish slices, the marinated tomatoes, and the radish wedges. And we're just going to mix that all together. I use my hands because it makes less of a mess in my kitchen. And then we're going to set aside a little bit of dill for garnish, and we're going to add the remainder to the bowl along with the flat leaf parsley and mix that together. And then to that, we're gonna add a bunch of arugula. I love arugula, so I was very excited to see this recipe, that it included it. And we're going to mix that together. And again, you can see why I use my hands. It minimizes spillover, even though there was still 2 pieces that flew out, but you know, it's fine. But this salad was delicious. Just seasoned with salt and pepper to taste. This salad was so good. I would definitely make this again. It was very bright and herbaceous, and it paired very well with the lamb. I would definitely recommend making these together. But yeah, it was so good. And the dressing was very, very good. I'd not had a tomato vinaigrette before, but it was very good. Also, the most unaesthetic pour. Ready? So bad. I tried to get a nice shot for you, but I failed miserably. Anyway, it was so good. I would highly recommend making this. If you can, please support the creators of Exquisite Exandria by purchasing their book. But that is it for today, adventurers. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope it is as stellar as you are. Just to note that we will be taking the next 2 weeks off for the holiday season. We have some weddings in the family, so it's just going to be very busy, and you won't see me for about 2 weeks, but that's okay. We'll return in the new year with a lot of stuff, very exciting stuff planned. So we will see you then, but until then, adventurers, take care, and bye-bye.